Hello, everyone. Welcome to the online meeting with SWPS University. My name is Dorota Slowińska. I'm the admissions officer, and I'm here today with my colleague Ada Zalewska. Hi, Ada. And our alumni Hacer Ersoy, who graduated from our psychology undergraduate program and is also the student of clinical psychology master's degree. Hi, Hacer.
Hello.
Nina, our colleague, is answering your questions in the chat box, and today we will answer your questions related to admissions process and our programs of study in English language. We will also tell you about the services and support available to our international students at our university, but also ask some questions to Hacer, because she's here, that's why today. Okay, and if there will be any questions that are most common in the chat box, probably Nina will forward the questions here so we can answer it online.
Exactly. So we've just opened application form for the new academic year 2021-2022, of course. So let's talk for a moment about what can you expect from SWPS University this year. Our university offers preparatory language courses of Polish and English language, bachelor studies and master studies. So you can study either in Polish language or in English language. We strongly encourage you to visit our website where you can find specific details about programs that we offer, the application process, the tuition fees, the application fees and scholarships, and etc. Everything is there. On our website, you can also find 11 programs in English in main campus in Warsaw. For the bachelor program, we do offer psychology program, management, design, and English studies. As for English studies, there are 4 additional languages available. So you can study English studies with Chinese, Japanese, German, or Spanish. And as for the master programs, we offer psychology, management, and English studies. Dorota, we have some technical issues and we are unable to hear you.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you perfectly.
I think my mic was off. This is something that I was afraid of, that I will forget to turn on my mic. Okay, so I wanted to tell you about the documents that you have to provide if you already have chosen the program. The first step, of course, is to fill out the online application form where you have to upload the scans of the documents. And the documents that are required for the admission process are as follow. The secondary school diploma for bachelor's degree or bachelor's degree diploma and transcript for the master program with the certified Polish or English translation, proof of English or Polish proficiency, depending to which program you're applying to. And if you don't have the necessary document, you may sit for the Skype interview to estimate the level of your English. And then, of course, accept English studies, English philology, when the certificate is required, but also you can sit for the exam. the health insurance or declaration of participation in a Polish national healthcare system, and this declaration will be available to download from the online application form. Of course, the scans of the documents, as I mentioned, have to be uploaded to the online application form. And please also bear in mind that you may have to sit for the exam when you are applying to specific programs, for example, clinical psychology or design. And as always, I strongly suggest to go to our website where you can see the specific requirements for all of the programs. And once the documents are verified and you sit for any necessary interviews or exams, you will be required to pay the tuition fee and upload the confirmation of payment to the application form.
That was all for the documents that are required during the admissions process. Now let's ask Hacer how it was with her during the admissions process. Hacer, do you remember your application process for studies? And could you please tell us more about your experience?
Yes, sure. Well, to start with the BA application, it was quite different than the others because I came to SWPS University as a transfer student, meaning that I was already studying in a different university. So I had to give the documents that Dorota mentioned. And other than those, I had to also give some extra documents like course descriptions and transcript. And then it took me a while to wait for the university to check my curriculum and to see if the curriculums match and to decide from which year I can start. So it happened that way.
Okay, and Hacer, I would like to ask you, why did you decide to apply for studies in Poland specifically to this country?
Well, actually, Poland was a country that I was familiar with because for the past 7-8 years, maybe, each summer I was finding myself in Poland, especially in Warsaw, to visit family and friends. So I was quite familiar with this country. And that summer when I started my BA in Poland, I met someone who told me about SWPS University. And I was actually thinking to study psychology, not the department I was studying previously. So she asked me if I would like to join her to the university that she can submit her documents. So I did. I went with her and I found myself asking questions about how can I get transferred here, what are the requirements, etc. So then I checked the university, I did some research, I liked it, and I just didn't even look for any other options. And yeah, that's how it happened.
And did you consider any other country than Poland for studies?
Actually, I was thinking how things are in different countries. However, I like Poland as a country, and I like how life is in Warsaw. There are a lot of students living there. Also, the location of country is very, very good. You can easily travel to other European countries. So I looked for the other countries, but Poland was the best match for me.
Okay. Can you tell us what are the benefits of studying abroad? Hacer, we cannot hear you, I guess.
Okay, can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that there are a lot of benefits to study abroad. Like, you for sure develop better understanding of other cultures. You meet people from many different countries, and this automatically expands your view, and you just become more conscious of what's happening around, and you learn to live independently. So for me, studying abroad, I can summarize it as meeting new people, seeing new places, and you can just taste very delicious food from different cuisines.
Yes, that's definitely true. The food part is the most important and the best part of living in other countries. So let's talk about the current situation for a second. Could you please describe how it looks like studying online? Of course, due to COVID-19, we're unable to study here on site at the university. So could you talk about that and how our university managed with this challenge?
Yes, well, COVID-19 is a pandemic, and unfortunately, we have it all over the world. And if it affects everyone, and I guess many universities in many countries, they also had to conduct the studies online, just as we're doing right now. Actually, I don't really like online. I didn't really used to like things that are going online. And then I asked the university, how are things going to happen? They told me that they're getting well prepared to an online education, and it will start as an online education due to the, cases. So it did. We have all of the classes online, and so far it goes very good. Like, I think both having it online or in the building, they have pros and cons. I try to adjust to the online education, but I think that we have, the system is going pretty good.
Yeah, and Hacer, you're lucky because you were also studying on the bachelor's degree, where you had the experience of studying here on site with all of the additional factors of studying in class. Like, you can see actually your classmates, and you can feel better knowing them and spend some time also together outside of the university. So I guess for first-year students, it might be a little bit hard, but fingers crossed everything will go back to normal until October. Actually, we thought that this COVID-19 situation will detain applicants, will make them to postpone their plans to studying abroad, because it's a little bit scary right now. Fortunately, that didn't happen. We've got plenty of students that we have this year. They started the studies online successfully, and although we do not meet on the corridors, we know that you guys are seeing each other in at least virtual classrooms.
Yes, you're right, Dorota. I remember it very well. Our moods last year here at the admissions office when on March the pandemic came to Poland. So, but today we know that the times are very unpredictable, and we try to do everything that we can to, keep you healthy and safe. And as Hacer said, we managed with this challenge quite well.
Hacer, I know that you are not in Poland right now. So maybe you can tell us about your experience about leaving Poland through the pandemic and staying in another country.
Well, sure. As I said, having the online education has pros and cons. So I'm currently living in Bulgaria. I was living here for a while, and I was thinking to get back to Poland for my studies. However, as it is online right now, I just decided to stay here. So it gives us the freedom to stay where we are, and we don't really much have to move to another country, etc. So in my case, it's helped me, and it didn't have any disadvantages because it was good. I was working here so I can keep going with my work and also undertake my studies. It's going pretty good with me.
Okay, and I will ask you about the program that you are studying, but you mentioned your work, and I know that one of the most asked questions from our candidates who will be studying in English language, and the studies in English language are full-time because of mainly visa processes as well. And I wanted to ask you whether it is possible to combine your studies with work.
Yes, as you have already mentioned, I studied my BA in Poland, and it was on site. I was there studying it, and I was working at the same time while I was studying. I worked in different places, in different kindergartens as an English teacher. like my schedule differed sometimes. When my school was not very, like I didn't have many classes, then I was working more or less, like I was just adjusting it to my school. So I was doing it very good, and I think many people are working while studying, and for sure there is time, especially for part-time job. You always have the time to work.
Okay, an additional question, because you were working using English language, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, because like most of the candidates they know that Poland is Polish-speaking country, so they think like it is possible to get a job where the Polish language is not required.
Well, for sure. In Poland, there are a lot of companies or a lot of schools that provide English classes or that need people that speak in foreign languages. So I was working fully in English in a bilingual kindergarten as an English teacher, and I never had issues with that. On the other hand, in Poland, there are a lot of companies that seek people who speak other languages. Like I was admitted to work with Turkish. I was requested to work with Bulgarian, as I speak that language as well. So there are just opportunities to work. You don't necessarily need to speak Polish.
Okay, thank you. And I wanted to ask you about the programs that you studied. Well, psychology, and that you're studying right now, clinical psychology. Could you tell us why did you choose this program?
Well, I was always very interested in psychology. So that way, I decided to start studying psychology, BA. And then my interest got deeper and deeper. And I decided that I have to just keep going through that path. And I checked the curriculum, the program of clinical psychology. I saw the psychotherapy classes, etc. So I said, okay, it looks very good. And as I know the quality of education and how the professors, instructors, lecturers provide this education and how much they are helpful with it, I just decided to admit to the clinical psychology MA program.
And as for the admissions, Hacer, I know that it was a long time ago, and you may not remember your application process, but last year you applied without an exam because you are our alumni. So I want to please ask you to try to remember how it was applying for the bachelor program and now for the master program in clinical psychology. Was this process easy for you, and do you have any advice for our future students?
Well, for the MA application, in my case, it was a bit easier because, as you said, I was already SWPS University graduate. So I just submitted the required documents and waited for the results. However, I know that in general, you do have an interview. Like before the interview, you are sent 3 articles because I read them before as well. And you have to choose one of them. And then during your interview, you have a lecturer or instructor in front of you asking you some questions about the specific article that you have chosen. And they ask about your opinions about it, about your motivation to study, your goals, etc. So it just goes very smooth.
Yes, that's true. The entrance interview, actually, it's not that scary, so don't worry. This is an easy and nice talk with our commit. Dorota, I would also like to ask you, do you recall what kind of problems our candidates have right now? And could you please tell us more about most frequently asked questions to the admissions office?
Definitely. I think the main question right now would be about form of studies next year. And of course, it's very hard to predict it right now for us. Fingers crossed we can all meet here at the university in fall, but we know right now, for example, that the spring semester will be fully online. So we are prepared very well for anything that happens, hopefully. But we also have a lot of questions about the language certificates and whether it is necessary to have one. And well, it's up to you. It's pretty early right now. We started admissions 2 days ago. So you've got plenty of time to apply for the language certificate. But if you don't want to, then you can sit for the Skype interview for most of our programs, except English Studies, where you have to sit for the exam, which probably will stay online like last year. Also, last but not least, the question whether I can apply to studies even though I do not have the diploma or high school diploma or bachelor's degree yet. And the question is, yes, you can apply. You can upload the transcript of grades. You can start your application. You can fill out most of the application form. You can sit for the Skype interview if necessary or for the exam, but you cannot be like fully admitted to program without your final high school diploma with the transcript of grades or the diploma and the supplement. Also, I would like to mention that you do not have to send us the hard copies of the documents while you are in the process of admission, because you can be conditionally accepted based on the scans of the documents that you can upload to the application form, and then come to our office, hopefully in October upon your arrival, and submit the rest of the documents. I wanted to come back to Hacer, because our university is famous for the practical approach to studying. And could you tell us how was it executed during your studies?
Well, I think that this is the thing that I mostly like about our university. So I can just simply describe how it looks like. In our university, in clinical psychology or in the psychology BA program, you have 6, 7, or 8 modules every semester, and each module consists of a workshop and a lecture. So in the lecture, you have the bigger group of students, and you have the lecture that gives you the theoretical background, theoretical information about the studies. And then just after that, you have the workshop where you can immediately put things into practice. In these workshops, you have smaller groups, 20, 25 maybe. You have smaller groups, and you just practice what you have just learned before this workshop during the class, during the lecture. So we have the opportunity to practice the skills, the counseling skills, for example, do some presentations, discuss some topics, and it really helps you to understand what other people think about the same topic, because our university is pretty multicultural. Like, there are people from many different countries, and it really helps you gain insight in how different could things be viewed. So I just really like it. I just really like how it helps us and gives us the opportunity to not just learn, but also internalize what we have learned. And it's, for me, gives more the feeling of competency.
Yes, definitely. Our university is very concentrated on the practical approach, and this similar approach that you talk about is visible also on our other programs. For example, in management program, this program is very concerned on learning throughout experience. Students learn throughout workshops, group projects, discussions, debates. As for design, this is definitely the most practical program that you can imagine. Our students implement actual projects in cooperations with our external business partners. So thanks to this approach, they learn how to work in real business environment with clients who present different requirements and their own subjective view of the project. So the experience and the networking opportunities gained throughout the course of study give an opportunity to smoothly enter into the job market. As for the psychology, I want to emphasize that this program definitely combines both theoretical knowledge with practical skills, because students have an opportunity to implement their newly gained knowledge while working on practical projects such as psychological essays, interviews, and group research projects. Additionally, during each academic year, students participate in at least one project-based course, which provides them with the opportunity to implement previously acquired knowledge in a more practical manner, for example, by working on a group research project. And moreover, most of our lecturers are professionally active and they are always there to help you, to give you advice, to help you with your concerns. They can tell you from their perspective how it looks now, how to work with people, and etc. And moreover, for the psychology program, most of students will be required to do a student practice. So yeah, this is definitely a both practical and theoretical school.
Definitely. And I think that because we are the University of Social Sciences and Humanities, this is our ambition to work on this practical approach. It is, of course, much easier in studies like design, for example, which is mostly like manual. And it is harder to do with psychology and like English studies and management, but this is the ambition of the university to do it as much as possible and to improve it each year. Hacer, I wanted to ask you about something that is also a fear maybe of a lot of candidates. Most of them are moving to other country the first time after they got accepted to our university. They have to move to Poland, and I wanted to ask you how this experience of moving was to you.
Well, I really love traveling, and I've been in different countries to see how the cities are there, how the countries look, etc., and people, cultures. So, as I said, Poland was a country that I was familiar with, and actually, you can, like, everyone who is going to a different country for the first time has this kind of anxiety or fear of the unpredictability of what will happen next. So I think it happens with most of us. However, once you get there, especially if you go there with the aim to study and you start university, you'll just automatically have a circle of friends, a lot of friends, and they will help you adjust to the country.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, like we've got a lot of students from different countries and everyone is new to this country. So I guess it's easier to have new contacts and to find friends, as you said. A lot of questions that we get are about accommodation, which is also available on our website. So I strongly suggest to go there and find some informations. But we do not have our own dormitory yet, but we work with private dormitories. There's also privately rented flats. So everything is available on the website. There is a search engine for the flats, so you can check it.
Let's just get back to the moving process into Poland, which might be, as you already said, quite scary and new to our future students. So I want to touch the topic of language knowledge. Hacer, we often get asked whether it is necessary to learn Polish if you're planning to study in English. Is it necessary to know Polish, or I don't know, learn some basics? What is your experience here in Poland?
Well, the short answer will be no, it's not necessary because in general, the young generation especially, they all speak English. And when it comes to your daily life, you go to the supermarket or you get the transportation, etc., you don't really need the language. And however, for the hospital and the residency, like the official places, sometimes you might have the need to know Polish, because once you arrive to Poland, you will have to apply for a residence permit. and they don't really much speak English there. So you might have a little bit, like you may want to go there with someone who speaks Polish. And here I can just add that when I started my BA in SWPS, they were offering foreign language classes for I think 2 years, like for 4 semesters. So they're offering a variety of languages, but I wanted to take Polish because I just want to know what happens around me, what people are talking, and I just wanted to get in touch with people with their own language. So if they want to learn Polish, I think they will also have the opportunity during the BA years.
And how do you feel with your Polish right now?
Well, I think that I can communicate with people in this very brief level, and it still makes me feel more confident because I can still communicate, and it's really fun to learn a new language. I feel happy about it.
Hacer, I wanted to ask you about the student practice. I'm not sure because you are on the during your first semester of clinical psychology, but have you got student practice right now?
No, actually, we don't have it right now. I was also asking this question to my professors because I was like, how are things going to be? As you said, Poland is a Polish-speaking country, and if it would be possible to find places in English. And they told me that they're helping us to find the places, and they have a list of places where we can have these practicums, where we can do these practicums in English. So they told me that they are helping us. They also give us the opportunity to do it in our own countries. So it really helps.
And okay, so since you didn't have the practice yet, you don't know how it would look like during the pandemic time. So probably this is a question that we have to ask to our lecturers. I know that this question appeared in the chat box, but probably we'll get back to you how it will look like if the pandemic will stay with us until fall. Hacer, I wanted to ask you, is there anything that you would like to say to future students of SWPS? Have you got any advices for them?
Well, I can tell them just if they have any questions, just straightforward ask. They're really helpful. They will always help you and answer your questions and your concerns. So this is how I did, because of course, we do have some questions and concerns, and it's good to just directly on first hand ask it to the university and get the answer. And also, I can say that Poland is a very good country, very nice country. The nature is very beautiful. Our universities consist a lot of people from different cultures, from different countries. It's a good university, good instructors. Really, they're really, really helpful. So they're just more than welcome.
Yes, I can definitely confirm that if you have any questions, any issues, you can always contact us. We are here for you. We know that applying for university abroad may be a little bit scary, may be new. So if you have any questions, of course, we are here for you. From what I can see, we don't have any additional questions from the chat box, so we are coming to an end. I would like to thank you so much for participating in this online meeting with me, with Dorota, of course, and with our alumni, Hacer. We hope that this webinar answered most of your questions regarding the application process and studies at SWPS University. I know that you may have some additional questions, some detailed questions, so please remember that you can always contact us via phone or email. You can also book an online meeting with us, so we will be more than happy to guide you throughout the admissions process. So thank you once again, and goodbye.